is up, AD team? Austin Dunham back again with another video. So today I have a highly in-depth informational video for you guys. And as you see by the title, we're gonna be discussing calisthenics for beginners, all right? This video is pretty much gonna hit all the key terms and things you need to know when starting calisthenics. And after this video, if you're a beginner, you're gonna have a way better understanding of the things people say with calisthenics and how you should train with it too, so that you can go ahead and get started. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because back when I was a beginner, back in 2014, I wish I had a video like this to reference to, so that way I didn't have to learn all these terms and different things on my own. So since this video is gonna be kind of long, I'm just gonna timestamp all the topics that we talk about. That way you can get right to it. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So first things first, the definition of calisthenics. Let's talk about it. My definition is that it is simply using gravity as resistance to build strength and muscle instead of an external force such as dumbbells, barbells, or something like that, an external load. You're using gravity and decreased leverage variations to build strength and muscle. Another term for calisthenics is also body weight fitness or just body weight training too. All right, so in calisthenics you have the basic exercises. These basic exercises compose of all the other exercises that you're gonna progress up to in the future and that you see everybody doing today. Now, those basic exercises are 1, normal push-ups, 2, pull-ups, 3, dips, and 4, squats. Those are the big 4, those are the basic exercises, and those are the foundational exercises that you're gonna progress from here as you continue on with your journey. All right, another point, progressions. Let's talk about that. What are progressions? So really all it means is a progressional path, and within that progressional path, you have progressional exercises to lead you up to that. For example, a normal push-up to a full planche push-up, there's a progressional path in between there with different exercises that are kind of intermediate, advanced, beginner, intermediate, but the bottom, all the way on the left, is beginner, and all the way at the end is advanced. Same thing with static training, which we'll get into too. Every exercise has a progressional sequence that you can follow and progress up to. With weights, you add weight plates when you get stronger. With body weight training, you change up the progression. All right, skill training. Skill training is another word for static training in my experience and opinion. So static training, all it is holding static skills, AKA you're not moving, hence the term static, such as planche, handstand, front lever, and back lever. These skills put your body under isometric pressure, and so you're holding this position and contracting all your muscles at once in order to hold it. Static exercises aren't as good as rep-based movements to build muscle. However, if you're able to hold some of them, it just looks cool and it requires a lot of isometric strength, joint tendon strength, and just looks cool. Now, the big thing about calisthenics is a term known as relative strength. Now, relative strength means how strong you are in comparison to your body weight. That is why it is a lot harder for an overweight person to start calisthenics than it is for a skinny person to start. And that's why usually the best transformations and best skill transformations you see are that of people who started off skinny rather than overweight. So if you are overweight and trying to do calisthenics, your focus should be to lose that weight as fast as possible, so that way your relative strength goes up and you'll be stronger at these body weight movements. Now, when you're doing weightlifting, usually absolute strength is more important, and that's how much you can, how much overall force you can exert on, let's say, a bench press or a squat or something like that. And usually the heavier you are, the better, because the more you can exert, right? But that's not the case with bodyweight training. Let's say you went from 140 pounds to 170 pounds, a 30-pound difference. You're gonna notice a clear strength loss in your bodyweight skills and training because of that extra weight. So when it comes to calisthenics, you gotta be mindful of your weight. Now, in me saying that, Throughout your journey, you're gonna need to track your weight, guys. You don't have to do it every single day, but you wanna be aware of your weight progress, and that is why I highly recommend using a digital scale. Now, whenever I'm doing my vlogs or showing my weight progress, I always have this certain scale that I always show. You guys always ask what it is, and that scale is the VitaGood scale, the digital body analyzer, and they are the sponsor of this video. So let me tell you real quick about the scale. This scale not only tracks your weight, but it also gives you a semi-accurate reading of your body fat percentage by using biological impedance, which all that means is you're gonna stand on the scale barefoot, and it's gonna send a little electrical signal up your body, then from there give you pretty accurate body fat percentage reading. I've been using the scale for now over 2 years, and it's been super crucial and important when it comes to not only tracking my weight, but keeping track of my body fat percentage. And the greatest part about this thing too is that you can have different user profiles within it. I'm actually gonna post a little unboxing clip right here so you can see how it works. Beautiful, a nice glass scale right here. All right, so now that the batteries are in, I wanna press this button to set the actual weight that I'm doing, like pounds or whatever. Now, after you set it with pounds, you wanna lay it flat on the ground. Now, you might be thinking this scale is upwards $150, $200. That's not the case, guys. If anything, this scale is a huge deal because you guys are gonna be able to get it for 60% off at the link down below in the description by using my code. Now, there are a lot of things you can invest in when it comes to starting your fitness journey, but a digital, reliable, and consistent scale that you can keep in your bathroom that also looks nice is going to be worth your investment, I'm telling you guys. So definitely be sure to check them out down below. In the upcoming videos, you'll see me using it a lot, so now you know. All right, so now that we discussed relative strength and how it is so important when it comes to bodyweight training, let's get into the other strength aspects of calisthenics, and there's two of them. There's straight arm strength, and then there's bent arm strength. So straight arm strength is different from bent arm strength because one, it's harder to gain, and two, you gain it by doing these certain style of exercises, and that is what we discussed at the beginning of the video, static training. A straight arm strength exercise is any movement with your arms completely locked out, completely straight. So you can gain straight arm strength when you're doing handstands, planches, front levers. As long as your arms aren't bending, you can gain straight arm strength. Some people even decide to have straight arm strength days versus bent arm strength days. Now, bent arm strength is exactly what it sounds. It's pretty much the strength that most people gain, everybody, because it's rep-based movements, right? So our arms are bending at a concentric and then extending. So example of this is the basic exercises, right? Push-ups, pull-ups, dips, any dynamic movement where we are bending our arms. When it comes to your overall training, you wanna have a balance in both and definitely get good at both over time. You're gonna have your strengths and weaknesses, of course, but be sure to train both. All right, the next one, horizontal and vertical pushing. So when you think of pushing movements, a lot of people have push days. You think of movements like dips, push-ups, maybe shoulder press, but in order to classify that into a deeper or more understandable terminology, we separate the pushing into horizontal and vertical. So horizontal, if we go back to math class, is anything with a straight axis like this. Vertical is anything with an up and down axis like this. So when you think of horizontal pushing, this is anything where your body line is moving like this. So that would be push-ups, and yeah, pretty much just push-ups, and that's it. So vertical pressing or pushing movements will be anything to where you're upside down in calisthenics. So this will be pike push-ups, handstand push-ups, and that is pretty much it too. So moving on, it's a horizontal and vertical pulling. Let's think about it again, right? Our body's like this, horizontal pulling. This will be any rowing type movement, such as Australian rows or tuck front lever rows or front lever rows. And then a vertical pulling will be something like pull-ups. That's pretty much all it can be. Pull-ups, muscle-ups, and their variations. Now, the reason why it's important to understand that is because when it comes to program development and you're writing out your own workout routine, you need to have balance within all horizontal and vertical pushing and pulling, so that way you don't create any imbalances, and that way you can progress towards, you know, some of the harder exercises. Because every single routine out there composed of all those 4 movements, because those are what's called compound exercises, where they're working multiple muscle groups at once, and they're gonna be at the forefront of any great workout routine. All right, now let's move on to calisthenics training sources. So you have a few different sources that you can do when doing bodyweight training. You have bars, so this is pull-up bars, dip bars, parallettes, stuff like that. You have ground, so not using any equipment at all. This is going to be mostly for your push-based movements, because you do need equipment when it comes to pulling-based movements. 3, you can have rings. Rings are great because they provide instability in the routine, and also you can use them for both pushing and pulling movements. Those are pretty much going to be your top 3: bars, ground, and rings. There might be some other sources, but throughout these years, that's mostly what you're gonna use. All right, next point, training styles within calisthenics. So this is pretty deep, right? Calisthenics is more than just push-ups and pull-ups, guys. There's also different styles you can train with it, such as weighted calisthenics you can do. You can do a mixture of yoga and bodyweight training. You can do sort of military style calisthenics. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and I've actually made a video on this already where I kind of went deep into each topic and training style. So I'll post a card or a link down below in the description if you want to check that out. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but just know you can train differently with your body weight. There's not kind of a one set fit all type of mindset with it. All right, guys, that was the crash course on calisthenics for beginners. I went over a lot of points today. I kind of touched on them lightly because I do not want this video to be too long. I just want you to have a basic understanding of each term when it comes to bodyweight training, so that way you understand it better. So that if you get any of my programs or just within your life in the next few months, you're gonna have a better general awareness of what people are talking about whenever you read something and go about your own training. Don't forget to check out the Scale Guides by Body Goods. Something important every single beginner needs, especially if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. The link will be down below for that. Track your body fat percentage, all that stuff, and get it 60% off. So if you want more videos like this, definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. My name is Dunham, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.